So it's no secret that fishing jerkbaits for early spring bass is a common thing for bass anglers. But one thing you can do to help increase your success when fishing jerkbaits for spring bass, or that matter, fishing jerkbaits any of the time of the year for bass, is play with the line type and pound test you're using. Anytime I'm fishing a suspending jerkbait, I'm using Seaguar fluorocarbon. The reason is fluorocarbon sinks compared to a monofilament line that floats. So if you're fishing a suspending jerkbait and want to get that bait down in the water column, using a fluorocarbon line is going to help that bait get down in the water column compared to a mono, which will want to keep that bait up in the water column. With the pound test, the lighter pound, the smaller diameter pound test you go with, there's going to be less resistance on that line in the water. Your bait's going to sink more quickly, and that smaller pound test is going to allow your bait to have a more natural action in the water. So for me, I will usually go between 2 pound tests in my fluorocarbon line. I'll use 12 and 15 pound. If the water is really cold or if those fish are a little bit more finicky, I'll use that 12 pound test. I like to use the Seaguar Tatsu. It's a double structured fluorocarbon. So what that means is it uses 2 different fluorocarbon molecules and properties. One provides extreme abrasion resistance. So that means when you're bringing your line around rocks, wood, your line isn't going to get as nicked up. There we go. So I was just throwing this jerkbait here. 15 pound Seaguar Tatsu. Got a pike here on this one, but that just shows how tough that Tatsu is. But then the other property is extreme sensitivity, and which delivers, you can feel what your bait's doing, and that line allows you to make a nice long cast with your jerkbait. So as that water temperature increases, or if those fish aren't as finicky, or if I'm fishing my jerkbait around like suspended brush piles, or if I'm fishing it, targeting shallow water, rock points, or riprap banks, I'll use 15 pound Tatsu, as that'll keep my jerkbait from diving as deep and getting hung in those rocks. So I'll have 2 rods out with basically the same setup. I'm using a 610 medium action rod, which it allows me to impart action into the jerkbait with the tip. It has a nice soft tip, so when the fish strikes, there's some give, so those treble hooks don't tear out of the fish's mouth, but yet the rod still has some backbone, so I can get that fish into the boat and keep them from coming unhooked. So when you're fishing jerkbaits in the spring, it's not a bad idea to have 2 jerkbait rods set up with different styles and colors of jerkbaits, but also pound test fluorocarbon line. Having a 12 and a 15 pound Seaguar Tatsu set up for me allows me to alter the action and depth my jerkbaits are hitting, which that way I'm able to cater to what the bass want